Just moments ago, the world watched in absolute disbelief as young Jock, the reality star and rapper known for his swagger and tough exterior, completely broke down in tears on live television. His pain raw, his heartbreak undeniable. It all happened at the most unexpected, most emotional moment, the reading of Khadiyah's last note. Fans are shocked, the cast is stunned, and even longtime friends say they have never seen Jock so vulnerable. For weeks, rumors swirled about the mysterious letter Khadiyah left behind, but nobody imagined it would unleash this level of drama. Sorrow and unanswered questions. What did Khadiyah write in her final message? Was it a confession? An accusation? Or a goodbye that changed everything? As her words echoed through the room, emotions ran high and old wounds ripped open, pitting friends against each other and dividing families who thought they'd survived every storm. Social media is ablaze, with viewers split between sympathy and suspicion, demanding to know the truth behind Khadiyah's last words and what they really mean for Jock, his family, and their future. And just when it seemed the chaos couldn't get worse, a shocking twist no one expected threatens to pull everyone deeper into the most unforgettable chapter of their lives. Stay tuned, because tonight, the story of Jock and Khadiyah is only just beginning, and nobody will ever be the same again. It all began on a humid Sunday afternoon, with Atlanta heavy under gray clouds and heavier hearts. The world was still, reeling from the news of Khadiyah's passing. But nobody was prepared for the secret she left behind: a handwritten note, sealed in a faded pink envelope, addressed simply to Jock. In the days leading up to the memorial, fans watched as rumors spun out of control. Some said the note held forgiveness, others whispered about deep secrets. A few even speculated that it was a final accusation that would change everything. Nobody knew for sure, but everyone wanted to be there for the truth. Young Jock hadn't slept in days. The grief hit him in waves, sometimes silent, sometimes raging. He shut off his phone, closed the blinds, and tried to hide from a world that now felt impossibly empty. His friends checked in, bringing food and awkward comfort. But nothing could fill the hole left by Khadiyah's sudden departure. She was the only one who ever really understood me, he told his sister late one night, voice breaking. Now all I got left is questions. On the day of the memorial, Atlanta's elite gathered in the candlelit chapel, faces somber and eyes swollen from crying. Reality TV cameras circled the perimeter, producers whispering about the must-see moment everyone was waiting for. Khadiyah's mother, dignified and quietly grieving, held the note tight in her hand. She refused to speak to the press. But her presence alone was a statement. Whatever was inside that letter would be heard. As the ceremony began, old wounds resurfaced. Some mourners whispered about the drama between Jock and Khadiyah, how their relationship had weathered betrayal, jealousy, and accusations. A few cast members, still smarting from recent arguments, sat at opposite sides of the room, unwilling to share even a glance. "You could cut the tension in here with a knife," one guest muttered, clutching a program the family was left. Divided, Khadiyah's cousins wanted the note read privately, worried about what it might contain. But Jock, red-eyed and trembling, insisted that everyone needed to hear her final words. "She deserves to be heard, even if it hurts," he said quietly to the officiant. Tears already welling up. When the moment finally arrived, the room seemed to freeze. The officiant gently opened the envelope, unfolding the letter as every camera in the room rolled. Jock sat in the front row, hands clasped, shoulders hunched, unable to look up. The note began softly, with Khadiyah's familiar handwriting spilling onto the page, memories of their first days together, dreams they once shared, and all the laughter in between. "Jock," the note read, "I always told you that you were my heart, but I don't think you ever really believed me. I wish I could have found the right words while I was still here, but maybe this is the only way you'll ever truly hear me." Fans are shocked as the note veered from sweet nostalgia to raw pain. Khadiyah described nights when she felt invisible, moments when she doubted his love, and the deep loneliness that even his presence couldn't cure. "Sometimes I thought you were looking right through me, like you were chasing something I couldn't ever give you," she wrote. "I needed you to fight for us, Jock. But most of the time, I felt like I was fighting alone." Jock's body shook, silent tears streaming down his face as the words echoed through the chapel. Emotions ran high, some mourners openly sobbed, others whispered apologies for things said and done. The note continued, turning darker. Khadiyah revealed secrets she'd kept for years, fears about his loyalty. Questions about what really happened on the nights he didn't come home. Doubts planted by old friends and new enemies alike. "If you're hearing this now, it means I'm gone, and I guess there's no more reason to hide." Khadiyah's words cut deep. "But I want you to know that no matter what, I never stopped loving you. I hope you can forgive me for not being stronger, and I hope you can. Forgive yourself for all the times you weren't there." At that moment, Jock broke down completely, his shoulders shaking, sobs racking his body. The room was stunned. Even the cast members who had once resented Khadiyah sat in silence, guilt and regret etched across their faces. Social media lit up with reactions, some calling it the most heartbreaking moment in reality TV history. Others questioning what would happen next. The letter wasn't over yet. As the officiant's voice softened, Khadiyah offered a final wish. "I hope my leaving wakes you up. I hope you learn to love yourself, Jock, the way I always tried to love you. Please take care of my mother, and please don't let our story end in anger." With those words, the note ended. For a long moment, nobody moved. The chapel was filled with the sound of quiet weeping and the heavy thump of Jock's grief. But behind the scenes, the real drama was only beginning. Outside, reporters swarmed. Friends whispered about the secrets revealed in the letter. Family members questioned what would happen to Jock, to Khadiyah's legacy, and to the fractured relationships left in the wake of her final words. In that moment, nothing was resolved. If anything, the questions multiplied and the pain only deepened. And as night fell over Atlanta, everyone knew the next chapter would bring even more twists, confrontations, and heartache before the story was truly over. As dusk settled over Atlanta, the city was still buzzing with the emotional aftershocks from Khadiyah's final letter. Everywhere from family kitchens to barbershops, group chats to gossip blogs, people argued about what her words really meant and who was to blame. For some, it was a story of tragic love gone wrong. For others, it was a brutal wake-up call about secrets, regrets, and what's left unsaid. But inside Jock's circle, the pain only deepened as the night wore on. JOC didn't leave the chapel right away. After everyone else drifted out, some comforting each other, others shooting him uncomfortable glances, he stayed behind, staring at the empty pews and clutching the crumpled letter in his shaking hands. A few close friends tried to check on him, but he just shook his head, silent. His sister finally sat beside him. "You have to let her go," she whispered, but Jock only stared at the floor. Lost in memories. Back at Khadiyah's mother's house, the family argued about what would happen next. Some blamed Jock for her heartbreak, insisting he was never truly there for her. Others, especially the older relatives, saw Khadiyah's letter as a plea for forgiveness and understanding, not revenge. The family was left divided, each person dealing with their own guilt and pain in different ways. Meanwhile, the drama spilled out into the wider cast. Carly Red, who'd clashed with Khadiyah in the past, posted a video on social media, crying and apologizing for the harsh words they'd exchanged. "We wasted so much time fighting," she said, "and now she's gone." Fans flooded her. Comments, some supportive, some unforgiving, others questioning if the tears were real or just for the cameras. Emotions ran high as other cast members took sides. Some blamed Jock, others blamed Khadiyah's insecurities, and still others pointed fingers at the relentless pressures of fame, betrayal, and reality TV itself. Kendra, who'd once been at the center of her own scandal with Jock, felt a surge of guilt and decided to visit Jock that night. She found him sitting in the dark, the note in his lap. "I know I'm the last person you want to see," she said quietly, "but you don't have to go through this alone." Jock looked up, eyes red and swollen. "It's too late for sorry." "Kendra, I can't fix this." But Kendra insisted. "Maybe not. But you can try to make things right from now on. For yourself, for her mother, for everyone who loved her. As word of the letter's content spread, the media went into overdrive. Talk shows invited therapists to analyze Khadiyah's words. Bloggers dissected every line, turning her private pain into public speculation. Fans are shocked and desperate. For more, what was Jock hiding? What was left unsaid? And could anyone ever move on after a loss so raw? The night brought no peace. Jock tossed and turned, haunted by dreams of Khadiyah, her laughter, her tears, her voice echoing from the letter. He replayed every argument, every late night he'd chosen the studio or the club over her. Regret clawed at him, sharper than any public criticism. "I should have fought for us," he whispered into the darkness. "I should have seen her." The next morning, Atlanta woke to another bombshell. A local journalist claimed there was a second letter, one Khadiyah had written to her mother, sealed and hidden in her jewelry box. Rumors exploded online. Everyone desperate to know what else Khadiyah might have revealed. Was there another secret? A message for Jock? Or something that would rip open fresh wounds for the family and the entire cast. As cameras camped outside the family home, Khadiyah's mother faced an agonizing decision: keep her daughter's last words private, or share them with a world hungry for closure and more drama. The family gathered around her, voices rising, in anger and fear. "It's not for them, it's for us," one cousin argued. But she knew what she was doing, another replied. She wanted the truth out. And so, as the sun set on another day, a new question loomed over everyone's head. What was in the second letter? Would it finally heal the pain, or only make things worse? And most of all, would Jock ever find peace, or would Khadiyah's last? Words haunt all those who loved her forever. By the next evening, the anticipation in Atlanta had reached a fever pitch. Outside Khadiyah's mother's house, TV vans idled and fans clustered behind police tape, waiting for any news about the rumored second letter. Inside, the mood was tense and exhausted grief, twisting into frustration, anxiety, and even suspicion. Khadiyah's mother sat at her kitchen table, turning the sealed envelope over and over in her hands, while the family debated what to do. J.O.C. Meanwhile, hadn't slept or eaten. He drifted through the day in a haze, replaying every word from Khadiyah's note and bracing himself for what else she might have left behind. Social media was ruthless. Some fans rallied to support him, sending prayers and urging forgiveness, while others hurled blame and dredged up old accusations. He broke her heart, and now he wants our sympathy. One viral tweet read, sparking endless debate. By early afternoon, Khadiyah's mother made her decision. She gathered the immediate family, called Jock, and told him they would open the second letter together, no press, no outsiders. Jock hesitated, unsure if he was ready to relive the pain. But he knew he owed Khadiyah and her family the truth. "She trusted me with her words, I'll face them, whatever they are," he told her mother quietly as the family assembled in the living room. The tension was thick. The envelope was opened, and Khadiyah's mother began to read in a trembling voice. The letter was gentle but brutally honest, less a message for the world, more a confession for her family. Khadiyah spoke about her struggles, her hopes, and her fears. She wrote about wanting her family to forgive each other, to remember her with love instead of anger. But then the letter shifted, dropping a bombshell that caught everyone off guard. "There are things I couldn't say out loud," Khadiyah wrote. "Things that haunted me and things I wish I'd faced sooner. I made mistakes too, and I'm Sorry, but I hope this letter helps you all understand, even if you can't forgive." The room fell silent as Khadiyah's mother paused, tears rolling down her cheeks. Then she read the next line. A secret Khadiyah had never told anyone. Brief affair, a moment of weakness, a confession that she'd been just as flawed and human as anyone else. The revelation left the family stunned. Some wept, others sat in disbelief, and Jock simply closed his eyes, the burden of guilt mixing with an unexpected sense of relief. "She wasn't perfect. None of us are," he whispered. But she was, always honest in the end. The family was left divided yet again. Some felt betrayed by the revelation, others felt closer to Khadiyah for her honesty. But the biggest shock was yet to come at the bottom of the letter. Khadiyah asked her family to make peace, to support Jock, and to remember her with forgiveness. "Don't let my pain become yours. Please love each other for me." As news of the second letter leaked, fans are shocked and the media went into a frenzy. Pundits debated on live TV about who was truly to blame. And cast members started posting their reactions, some in support, some stirring up more drama, even Khadiyah's. Exes chimed in, dredging up old grievances and accusations. Atlanta was buzzing, the love and hip-hop world more fractured than ever. And still, nobody really knew how to move forward. JOC tried to process it all, but the pain was overwhelming. He spent long nights talking to Khadiyah's mother, sharing memories, crying together, and slowly realizing that maybe forgiveness of himself, of Khadiyah, of everyone was the only way through the storm. "She just wanted peace," he said one night, his voice barely above a whisper. "Maybe it's time we give it to her." As the days passed, the story's twists and secrets were debated everywhere. But for those at the heart of it, life had become about something simpler: letting go, holding on, and finding a way to love each other through the pain. But with the season finale approaching and producers teasing even more bombshells, everyone knew the drama wasn't over yet. One last twist was Kaminga's final confrontation that would test just how much healing was truly possible, or if the family would be left divided forever. The days leading up to the season finale were filled with tension, rumors, and a sense that everyone was waiting for something to break. Atlanta's energy felt different. Churches prayed for peace. Radio hosts argued about blame and forgiveness. And cast members huddled with producers, anxious about what the cameras might catch next. Everywhere, people whispered about the two. Letters about secrets exposed and about the pain that still lingered between Jock, Khadiyah's family, and the entire community. When the final episode's taping day arrived, the set was charged with raw emotion. Family and friends were invited for a last gathering, with producers promising a chance for everyone to speak their truth and maybe, just maybe, find some closure. The room was heavy with expectation. Jock, still looking hollow but somehow steadier, arrived with his sister. Khadiyah's mother, dignified but clearly exhausted, took a front row seat. Other cast members exchanged nervous glances, unsure if they'd be pulled into more drama or finally see healing. The host opened with a heartfelt tribute to Khadiyah, then turned to Jock. "Do you have anything left to say?" The room went silent as Jock stood, trembling slightly, but determined to face the world. "I failed her. I failed myself. I spent so long hiding behind pride, behind music, behind the show. I thought saying sorry would fix it all. But it's too late for that. The only thing I can do now is honor her wishes. She wanted us to forgive, to move on, to stop fighting. So that's what I'm going to try to do." His words hung in the air as the camera zoomed in on Khadiyah's mother. After a long pause, she spoke, her voice both gentle and strong. "Khadiyah was our heart, and losing her broke us. But she was right, we all made mistakes. She wanted peace, and I want that too. For her memory." She stood and offered Jock a hug, the room erupting in quiet sobs. Family members who had been fighting reached for each other's hands. For the first time in weeks, the tension began to lift, but the producers weren't done. With the finale's biggest twist, they played a never-before-seen clip-up private video Khadiyah, recorded days before her passing. In it, she addressed everyone by name, offering forgiveness, sharing regrets, and urging them to love more deeply. "If you're seeing this," she said, "it means I'm gone. But don't let my pain turn into anger. Take care of each other. Don't waste a second." The impact was immediate. Even cast members known for stirring up drama were left in tears. Fans at home are shocked. Social media flooded with messages of support and heartbreak. The family was left divided no longer. Instead, they were held together by the memory and wishes of someone who loved them through it all. In the weeks that followed, Jock dedicated himself to helping Khadiyah's mother, volunteering for mental health causes and slowly mending relationships with those he'd hurt. The family gathered more often, sharing memories, laughter, and sometimes tears, but always with a sense of unity that Khadiyah had so desperately wanted. Emotions still ran high, and the pain didn't disappear overnight. But the story became less about drama and more about healing, hope, and the power of one woman's last words to change the lives of everyone she touched as the dust settles on this heart-wrenching chapter. One thing is clear: Khadiyah's final words and the way she chose to leave this world have changed everyone she loved. And even those who only knew her story from afar. Fans are still shocked by the twists, the secrets, and the raw emotion that poured out on screen. For Jock, her family, and the entire cast, the pain is still fresh, but so is a new sense of hope. What began as a story of heartbreak and regret has slowly turned into a journey toward healing, forgiveness, and honoring Khadiyah's legacy. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think Jock can ever truly find peace after losing the woman who knew his heart best? Can Khadiyah's family keep their promise to support one another and let go of the pain? And have these final messages finally ended the cycle of blame? Or will old wounds return as time goes on? Let us know your thoughts, your reactions, and your hopes for everyone involved in the comments below. Whose side are you on? And what advice would you give if you could speak to the family right now? If you felt this journey, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more real, unfiltered stories, because sometimes the most powerful drama is the one that reminds us to love deeper and forgive sooner. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing your hearts. And until next time, remember, life is short. So hold your loved ones close and never let the last words go unsaid.